pay you any money. That's what it feels like to me. Just having the
Yeah.
knowledge is definitely worth it.
What's one of the most profound and transformative experiences you've had in your life? What's one of them?
Um, Now there's so many, man. Like I will tell you, just I mean, they're the big ones, like being over Iraq and plane catching on fire one time, or my dad passing away from a drunk driver, or
Tell me about the plane
uh,
catching on fire. It sounds very
yeah,
fascinating.
about 40. We go over the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt. We go into Iraq, about
Okay.
45 minutes into Iraq. And I remember as soon as we crossed in, I wanted to do a pose in front of the American flag with my horns up because at UT Austin, I was going to send it back to the university. It's like, hey, because I just another UT Austin grad deploys to Iraq, and they would have put it in the newspaper. So I go to take a picture, go back, sit in the chair, and I'm a navigator, and I don't have a lot of navigation to do because we're leaving from Rota, Spain, and we're landing in not Kuwait, we're landing in UAE, Abu Dhabi. And
Gotcha.
so we're going to go through Iraq on the way there. And all of a sudden, one of the computers catches on fire. I'm flying a
And
1957, 58, 59 model KC-135 Stratotanker. I'm the
sounds wild.
navigator, but so I'm behind the co-pilot.
Okay.
And when that happens, so when you maintain a certain airspeed, the vertical stabilizer, I'm sorry, the horizontal stabilizer,
Okay.
it has to maintain a certain pitch in order to keep the aircraft at a certain altitude. If you kick off the autopilot, then the horizontal stabilizer will go back to neutral. And when it does so, if you're flying too fast, you're going to pitch up, and if you're flying too slow, you're just going to pitch down. Well, it did so. It kicked off, and then the plane dropped like 400 feet, and then you could smell the smoke in the cockpit, but you couldn't see any fire. And so I put my mask on, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, and I'm yelling at the pilot. I'm like, his name Tate Whitener. He's a major. I said, Tate, bro, like, I was like, what the fuck just happened, or something like that. Generally, most second lieutenants or first lieutenants don't say, hey, major, what the fuck just happened? That's generally not good etiquette
Yeah.
in the cockpit. I'm not saying it never happens, but it's probably not something I should do. And then he looks back at me. One of the crews, there was a secondary crew sleeping in the cockpit, not the cockpit, in the cargo area.
Gotcha.
They get up, they come in there, and the pilot for their crew climbs down into the hellhole. There's a place where you can actually go down and physically see the nose gear. You can climb down underneath, and all the computers, the circuitry is down in there, super loud. It's freezing cold down there. He goes down there and he takes a fire extinguisher, puts it out, comes back up, and the rest of the crew's laughing at me because there are fires in these aircraft all the time. And there were 4 other fires like while I was flying in my career. But for me, it was just like, no one told me about oh yeah, there's going to be fires in the cockpit all the time in your 60-year-old airplane. And so I remember just freaking out. And then from that point on, I just remember, I'll tell you another transformative experience. There was one time where, again, the horizontal stabilizer, we were landing at McCord Air Force Base. It was called McCord back then. It's called McCord Joint Air Base or some Tacoma Joint. I forgot what it's called now, but we're coming to land, and it was another major who was the co-pilot. He's pulling the yoke all the way back to his chest, and he can't get the nose to pitch up.
Ooh.
And so that's really bad because you're going to end up landing on the nose gear. And if the
Sounds,
nose is
sounds very
in an airplane,
dangerous.
yeah, if a nose gear collapses on an airplane that has 60,000 pounds of JP8 in it, you're going to all go up in a. The good thing, you're going to die quickly. At least
Right.
on the bright side, you're going to die quickly, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't pitch the nose. We weren't able to pitch the nose up. Now, when we landed it, he pulled that thing all the way back, and we did land I think on all 3 gear at the same time. But I just remember coming in for the landing, just very much accepting the fact that we're probably going to die.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, like I'm a first lieutenant at this point. I'm not a captain. I have less than 100 hours flying at this point. And so over time, flying these 60-year-old airplanes, you just realize the aircraft just keeps putting you in peril over and over again, and you're just used to it because that's what your government has asked you to do, and you just do it.
Yeah.
And I only know one crew that's died. There was only one crew, and it was just after I got out that actually they died on approach. The plane crashed, but other than that, we never had anybody die. And so, it's just one of these things where you're just like on the line, but not quite over the line. And right now, You know, it's almost a 70-year-old aircraft, and people are still flying KC-135s. The first KC-135 rolled off the assembly line in 1957, and they're still flying about 500 of them today. So that's it. That's that was a transformative experience for me. But for me, I mean, why was it a transformative experience? Is because it was just one of these things where, like, I was in full acceptance. I had made a decision to serve my country, and whatever happened, happened.
I worked in the medical field for a while, and I worked on a COVID floor, and so I took care of patients that were very sick, and I saw a lot of like really crazy things during that time, and I I saved a lot of lives, but I did see a few people pass, and it was, I think, that was, it gave me a lot of thoughts deep into humanity and the way people think and the way people are and what people care about, and how different people interact with others. You're an avid book reader. You're an avid book reader. What book are you currently reading?
I'm rereading The Evolution of Desire by David Buss. I'm going through it the second time. There's so much. You could read that book 50 times, and there's just so much to take out of it. And then after I'm done with that, it's Pitch Anything by Oren Klaff. I just finished $100 Million Leads. I'm reading The Next Five Moves by Patrick Bet-David. I just finished Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. Then after that is Atomic Habits by James Clear, and then Good to Great by Jim Collins.
And I'm going to put all of your links to all your sites in the bio. Everything's down below. Everybody check out MOA. It's the best program in the universe, in the whole world. Check it out. I had a great time talking with you, and I'd like to talk to you soon, my friend.
Talk to you soon, Johnny. Take care.